Today is a very special day for me. We're covering a game near and dear to my heart, The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion. If I wasn't at school, I was playing Oblivion, making my parents wonder if I would ever grow up and have a social life. But man, don't you think I proved them wrong? I mean, this was the very first Xbox game I got every achievement for. So when they revealed the remastered release earlier this year meaning 2025 as I make this, hello from the past, future viewers. When they revealed the remaster, it made my soul happier than it had ever been before. What's that? The birth of my son? Yeah, that was cool, I guess, but have you seen the Oblivion remaster? Alright, so maybe I'm a few months late to the punch. My channel format and current season of life isn't designed in a way that I can pump out a video within days of a game's release. But we're here now. And while I recreate videos of previous games I completed, let's throw in a healthy mix of what I really want to play in my heart. I got every achievement in Oblivion, the original and the remaster, but does that mean that you should too? I plan to run down the list of every Oblivion achievement and rank them on a scale of 1 to 5. I'll also assign what I call red flags to achievements, which are warnings that you may want to know in advance. I got 10 of them red flags, and they go like this. The brutal flag, for when things are on the bullshit side of the difficulty scale. The glitchy flag, for when you can do exactly what the achievement asks and it still may not unlock. The grindy flag, for when things take a stupid amount of time or repetitive actions to complete. The impossible flag, when it is no longer possible to unlock an achievement. The lucky flag, when everything is dependent on random odds playing in your favor. The missable flag, when progressing too far or performing certain actions can lock you out of an achievement for good on your current save file. The multiplayer flag, when you need multiple people to achieve a cooperative or competitive goal. The obscure flag, for when the answers you need aren't immediately obvious and may require referencing an online guide. The purchase flag, when you need to spend real money for additional tools or DLC. Finally, the schedule flag, when achievements can only be unlocked on certain times or days in real life. At the end of the list, I will judge the entirety of Oblivion on its game quality, achievement difficulty, achievement time dedication, miscellaneous red flags, and a final recommendation score. A 10 out of 10 meaning even the most noob gamers should get the 100%, and a 1 out of 10 means even the most hardcore players should stay away. Let's talk about the different versions of Oblivion you could be playing. They all have the same list of 60 achievements, other than PlayStation having 61 for the Platinum Trophy, so fundamentally nothing changes, but there are some quick notes that differ from platform to platform. If you're a PlayStation gamer, you only have the new remastered version to focus on trophy-wise. The original release of Oblivion back in 2006 actually came out before PlayStation trophies were really a thing. This is a similar case if you're playing on Steam, only the new remaster has achievements. You can play the original Oblivion and original Oblivion Game of the Year edition on Steam, but they don't have achievements. Xbox gamers have the biggest grab bag. There are a total of 3 separate achievement lists that could be conquered for Oblivion. The first is the original 2006 release, coming with the 50 base achievements and 10 more achievements with the Shivering Isles add-on. This can be purchased separately for $9.99, or come on a second disc if you bought the Game of the Year edition. The second version is the original Oblivion Game of the Year edition from Japan. If you have a means to play this, you can unlock all the achievements separate from the English release. The Shivering Isles is also included as part of the base experience here. Finally, we have what you'll be seeing on screen, the newly remastered version. Shivering Isles is also included as the base game here. One thing to note, the remaster of Oblivion only offers 1000 gamer score, while the OG release coughs up 1250 Gs despite the achievement list being identical. Let's kick it off with everything that'll unlock while progressing through the main story.
That's the best you can do, your bloody soul.
We got escaped the Imperial sewers, closed an Oblivion gate, located the Shrine of Dagon, delivered Daedric artifact, destroyed the Great Gate, and Champion of Cyrodill. In case you haven't noticed, the concept of achievements was but a twinkle in gaming's nutsack at the time, so don't expect creative names for things pre-2007. Most of the main story is as simple as talk to dude, follow waypoint to thing, do thing, talk to dude, rinse and repeat. Obviously the storytelling and the stakes at hand in this world are far beyond that simple explanation, but for the sake of dumbing it down to the lowest level of mental bandwidth, it's that simple. The only part of the main story that isn't as clear is delivering a Daedric artifact to Martin. Suddenly the game doesn't hold your hand. You gotta figure out the next steps. Daedric artifacts are unique items that are rewarded from doing these special side quests offered by shrines scattered across the land. You can't just walk up and get a quest on a silver platter though. Every shrine has a different level requirement, asks for certain items to be provided as an offering. Some shrines may have specific times you need to visit, or may even require you to have certain game stats or progression, such as having a personality skill so deplorably low that even a single orc on orcmilf.gov won't let you roam her green pastures. Oh, it feels weird saying it out loud. Once you finally get a Daedric Shrine quest resolved, you then need to decide if the artifact you're rewarded is worth sacrificing to progress the story. What if you get a dope-ass weapon or piece of armor? Are you willing to be rid of it forever, or do you want to use it and go find another shrine quest and hope that reward will be more expendable? I personally did 4 shrines before getting an artifact that I was willing to part ways with. This part of the main quest teeters on the obscure line. It's certainly quicker if you look up where the shrines are. However, they do have unique icons on the map, and you are specifically told what requirements are in place to take the quests. We'll narrowly dodge an obscure flag here, and all 6 story achievements will get a 4 out of 5. Next up, we got the arena achievements. Pit Dog Arena, Brawler Arena, Bloodletter Arena, Myrmidon Arena, Warrior Arena, Gladiator Arena, Hero Arena, Champion Arena, and Grand Champion Arena. All of these are acquired by joining and progressing through the ranks of the arena in the Imperial City, which aren't really quests, but a series of fights against various warriors and gladiator-style combat. Now, here's the thing I need to address moving forward. I don't know what kind of character you make. Are you a fighter? Are you a mage? Are you an assassin? Some of those will have easier times on certain quest lines than others, and I can't critique based on the unknown. If you're a bulky, heavy armor wearing tank with a mean warhammer to match, one-on-one combat may be as easy as it comes. If you're a glass cannon assassin that can one-shot an enemy from the shadows, but is so fragile that you get one-shot by enemies when fighting them head-on, suddenly the arena becomes one hell of a mountain to climb. Or you can shrink the mountain entirely by kicking the game difficulty down to novice. None of the achievements in this game require you to play on any specific difficulty level, so you can make the game so easy that even an interdimensional demon god gets crippled from you sneezing on him. Another thing to keep in mind is that every arena promotion achievement is technically missable. You can join the arena and become a pit dog at any time, but once you're signed up, you can get kicked out. Every arena fight requires you to wear the arena-issued armor. If you change out of the armor mid-fight, you'll be disqualified. And if you do that in a second fight, you will get permanently banned from the arena on this character. Look, if you decide to strip down with a full studio audience, that's 100% on you. But the possibility still exists, so here's 8 missable flags. We'll give it 9 4 out of 5s for guiding me to the arena. Our combat kill streaking doesn't end here though. Now we move on to the Fighters Guild, which are like mercenaries for hire, but they whack people for good. Can we get that in real life? I mean, legal disclaimer, I'm not like looking for a dark web hitman. I'm just saying if the inventor of top-load washers or diaper genies disappeared, I wouldn't be upset. Who likes these things? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Anyways, the achievements are Associate Fighters Guild, Apprentice Fighters Guild, Journeyman Fighters Guild, Swordsman Fighters Guild, Protector Fighters Guild, Defender Fighters Guild, Warder Fighters Guild, Guardian Fighters Guild, Champion Fighters Guild, and Master Fighters Guild. Unlike the arena, the Fighters Guild assigns actual quests and has a self-contained storyline, but from what I remember, none of the quests are all that problematic. There are a couple things that may halt your achievement journey though. Firstly, just like the arena, misbehavior can get you kicked out of the guild. If you attack or steal from a fellow Fighters Guild member, you'll be suspended and issued a quest to redeem yourself. This can happen a second time, but on strike 3 you're out for good. That'll be 9 missable flags. But this is so avoidable. If you get banned from the guild, that's 100% on your ass. What isn't your fault, however, is how skippable the champion rank is. I had noticed this the hard way when I completed the Fighters Guild and became the Master, but noticed that I still had a rank locked. How the hell are you going to tell me that I'm good enough to be the CEO of the company, but didn't cut it as Vice President? There is a way that you can catch up on guild quests faster than the game expects you to, and you end up hitting the end game before getting nudged to champion rank. Do yourself a solid and just ask for a rank advancement after every quest, so you can avoid this outcome. I'm going to give 9 of these Fighter Guild achievements 4 out of 5, and Champion will get a 3 because of the extra layer of skippableness. When you've mastered the art of being a warrior for hire, you may find yourself exploring the mystical arts. Enter the Mages Guild achievements. Associate Mages Guild, Apprentice Mages Guild, Journeyman Mages Guild, Evoker Mages Guild, Conjurer Mages Guild, Magician Mages Guild, Warlock Mages Guild, Wizard Mages Guild, Master Wizard Mages Guild, and Archmage Mages Guild. Honestly, most of my commentary on the Mages Guild will mirror that of the Fighters Guild. Every achievement aside from joining the guild is technically missable if you're an idiot and catch 3 suspensions for attacking or stealing from other mages. Side tangent, there was this one time where I was running through a quest for a completely different guild, and ended up in this abandoned tower full of dudes trying to kill me. I saw a guy in fancy robes and thought, "Oh, necromancer, taste my blade." And then I got a notice of suspension from the Mages Guild. Bro, what the hell are you doing out here in titty-fuck Cyrodill? Why aren't you at the guild halls like the rest of the spellcasting nerds? Why are you dressed like the previous 20 dudes who wanted to kill me? I like to think that I'm a man of accountability, but I'm having a hard time accepting that this incident was my fault. Hey guys, Future Scooter here. Let me show you some more crazy shit that happened in my footage. Here's me, doing quests, ready to enter the town of Shivering. I forgot I was wearing the Mask of Grey Fox. What is the Mask of Grey Fox? Makes me stealthy as fuck, acrobatic as fuck. Makes everyone in the world confuse me for the world's most notorious criminal, the Grey Fox. As a result, Mask gives me permanent 500 gold bounty. I can't serve a jail sentence. I can't pay the bounty. Guards want to kill me on sight. So I go to Shivering. Guard wants to arrest me. And by arrest me, I mean kill me. On sight. I remove my mask to prevent that from happening again. 2 guards attack me. 1 guard accidentally hits the other guard. Now the guards are fighting. This random orc named Magoob Groorum starts attacking the guards because... Random invisible guy is here now, attacks guards. Random invisible guy attacks Magoob. Random invisible guy is actually Ulrich Leyland, the guard captain. That'll be important later. Magoob runs away. Ulrich chases. A 3rd guard enters the fight, starts shooting arrows at the first 2. One of the guards dies. Remaining 2 guards are shooting arrows at each other. 2nd guard dies. The 3rd guard runs off. 4th guard arrives, completely unaware what the fuck is even happening, and says,
Body's still warm.
I talk to guard number 4. I have a bounty of 60 gold. That's better than 500. Still don't know why I have a bounty. I decide to pay the fine. I end up at the castle. There's still madness outside. Ulrich and another guard kill Magoob. There's another guard shooting arrows at these guards. Ulrich turns on his own men. Ulrich dies. I get a quest update claiming I've slain Ulrich. Whoa. Hang on now, hang on. I want a lawyer. Hang on, that's not how this went down at all. Quest update claims I should speak to second in command Garrus. I really don't want to have to explain any of this to anyone. Another guard dies. Last 2 guards are fighting. Another guard strolls in calmly to a dead guard and says,
Excuse me, are you alright? Fine, this person's dead.
Then he walks away because he's off the clock. He ain't got time for this shit. Old Lady Shelley walks in between a sword fight and says,
How do you do?
A guard dies. The last surviving guard walks away. I talk to him and he says,
We're here to help.
So all of this death and chaos and a city left without a guard force because I forgot to take off my mask. Anyways, just like the Fighters Guild, I also managed to skip the Master Wizard promotion and jumped to owning the damn guild, which was significantly more annoying to correct this time around. Unlike the Fighters Guild where I just missed 1 promotion chance, somehow in the Mages Guild I completely offset the ranks with the quest they should be rewarded from, so I was perpetually 1 rank lower than I was supposed to be for the work I was doing, meaning I had to load up a save way earlier back in the game, replay most of the Mages Guild quests while asking for a promotion every time, and realign the progression path. 9 more missable flags, 9 more 4s, and another 3 out of 5. Alright, we've done enough heroism for this place. Time to turn to
Darkness and shadows.
take the soul of an innocent citizen and get indoctrinated into the Dark Brotherhood, where the Fighters Guild ethically killed for what was right, the Dark Brotherhood assassinates for the thrill of the kill. Legal disclaimer, I'm not looking for like a dark web hitman. I'm just saying if the inventor of wet socks or cold pizza wound up 6 feet under, I wouldn't be upset. I don't think anyone will fight me on the wet socks thing, but so help me God, if anyone comes at me defending cold pizza in the comments down below, I'll turn you into this guy all boned and stuff. Wait, hang on. Not like that. The achievements here are Murderer Dark Brotherhood, Slayer Dark Brotherhood, Eliminator Dark Brotherhood, Assassin Dark Brotherhood, Silencer Dark Brotherhood, Speaker Dark Brotherhood, and Listener Dark Brotherhood. Yes, even a cult of assassins has rules for some reason, and yes, you can get kicked out if you antagonize your guildmates, and yes, that means 6 more technically missable flags if you're a dumbass. I tell you what though, I'm about to hand out 5 out of 5s unapologetically. 7 of them to be exact, because Oblivion's Dark Brotherhood questline is just so masterfully crafted, I will always want to come back to it. I guess that's not really a credit to the achievements themselves, more so the part of the game that they are affiliated with. But if you make achievements that take me to one of the highlights of the game, then you're getting major brownie points from me. My only nitpick is that there are 8 Dark Brotherhood ranks and only 7 achievements. Why didn't the Executioner rank get an achievement? Seems like a really weird omission since every other guild promotion in the game has an achievement. Alright, well maybe the succulent flavor of murder isn't your thing. You're a person of culture, I get it. And cultural people commit grand larceny. Welcome to the Thieves Guild, where your ability to steal and burglarize comes to the test. We got Pickpocket Thieves Guild, Footpad Thieves Guild, Bandit Thieves Guild, Prowler Thieves Guild, Cat Burglar Thieves Guild, Shadowfoot Thieves Guild, Master Thief Thieves Guild, and Guildmaster Thieves Guild. You know what's quirky? The Thieves Guild is the only guild you can't get banished from. Thus, no missable flags here. There are rules against committing crimes against your fellow thieves, and you can get suspended, resulting in being issued a redemption quest. But there's no limit here. You can be an asshole on your teammates endlessly. Kinda defeats the purpose of having a punishment at all. Like, you're either in trouble, so go do some work, or you're not in trouble, so go do some work. 4 out of 5 times 8. Finally, we have progression through the Shivering Isles questline. Arguably one of the most fleshed out DLC to ever come from a game. It really could have been a standalone spin-off game if they wanted to go that direction. Tourist Shivering Isles, Aspirant Shivering Isles, Citizen Shivering Isles, Madman Shivering Isles, Honored Madman Shivering Isles, Duke Dementia Shivering Isles, Duke Mania Shivering Isles, Regent Shivering Isles, Defender Shivering Isles, and Mad God Shivering Isles. So I find myself at a paradox here. Do I need to slap down 10 purchase flags? Or not, because many versions of Oblivion have Shivering Isles included instead of sold separately. I didn't think about this when deciding to cover all versions of Oblivion in one go, but logically that made sense to me. Why make an Oblivion achievement analysis and an Oblivion remastered achievement analysis? They have identical achievements. It'd be like the same exact video twice. If the remaster came with an entirely new list of achievements, I'd consider a double dip, because that would fundamentally change what I discuss in this video. Well, considering 4 out of the 5 possible Oblivion achievement lists have Shivering Isles included, and even the 5th version, that being the original English 2006 release, has a second publication where the DLC comes on a second disc, I'll reasonably conclude that most people who play Oblivion can access Shivering Isles without spending additional money. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have other achievement issues with Shivering Isles. Ain't that right, Missable Flag? Even though the achievement names may suggest otherwise, Shivering Isles isn't a guild you can get exiled from and miss out on promotions. It has its own self-contained bounty and jail system apart from the main game when you decide to do stupid shit. However, Duke Dementia Shivering Isles and Duke Mania Shivering Isles are both missable. As weird as this may sound, I'm only adding one missable flag here. You can't miss both achievements. You are guaranteed to get one of them at the cost of missing the other. Mania and Dementia are both halves of the Shivering Isles map, and eventually you get to decide which half you want to rule over. You don't get to become a duke over both of them though. Once you pick a side, the other option is locked off. The easy solution is to simply save your game right before having to make the choice. Do the option you least prefer first just to get the achievement, and then reload your save and do the other one. That requires a level of foresight though, and I don't expect most people to research stuff like this to store the knowledge in advance before playing the game. Hell, even speaking for myself, a hardcore achievement hunter, I don't even research the achievements in advance before winging it. I've already got games on my record that can never be completed, so that ship has sailed. But also, I personally want my first playthrough of a game to be a pure, genuine experience without the stress and mental bandwidth pulled away from following a collectible guide or tracking missable points. Why didn't they just make a singular achievement for becoming the Duke of either realm? Now look, the OCD elephant in the room isn't lost on me. I have that purist, perfectionist part of my brain sounding alarms too. If they chopped the 2 Duke achievements down to 1, that would make the list 59 achievements instead of 60. Not a very round, sexy number to end on. But oh wait, remember that Executioner rank in the Dark Brotherhood that randomly didn't have an achievement like every other promotion in the game? Boom! Now we're back up to a nice sexy 60. But wait, that would make the base game of Oblivion 51 achievements. That's not round sexy. And the DLC would be 9 achievements. also not round sexy. Look, no matter how you slice it, that part of your brain you're giving way too much power to, yes, speaking as someone with that brain also, it'll never be whole. Realistically, I'd rather the numbers be stupid than have a missable achievement and a Dark Brotherhood rank without one. The Duke achievements get 3s, and the other 8 in Shivering Isles get 4s. Now that we've hit all 60 Chieves, let's get to the final scoring. Look, you've probably noticed that Oblivion's achievements are, honestly, about as non-creative as they come. Every single one is tied to questline progress, which, yes, please guide me to all these major side stories, I'm not saying take that away, but I think Skyrim just did achievement variety way better. I mean, maybe, it's been a while since I've played Skyrim. Take my word today with a grain of salt until I make a Skyrim achievement analysis video. At the very least, it had a far more creative list. I'm not going to let the lack of creativity on this list drag my scoring down, but I wanted to address it. Kicking it off with scoring Oblivion from a game quality perspective. If we're talking about visuals, there's two different conversations happening depending on if you're rolling with the OG 2006 release or the remaster in 2025. The new release is breathtakingly gorgeous. I could gaze at its star-riddled sky all night long. Obviously, the game from 19 years ago has aged. The modern graphic fidelity isn't there, and a lot of character models are reused for NPCs. Even still, the 2006 game world was, and is, vibrantly colored and scenic. Each town has a different aesthetic and feel that make them stand out. If only the various dungeons and caves were better in that regard. They're all pretty samey no matter the version. Audibly, both versions of the game are nearly identical, other than some new voice actors piping up in the remaster. Many characters throughout the game will have the same voice, but that didn't really bug me personally. The music in this game is, holy shit, it's amazing. It's so atmospheric when you're wandering through the forests or entering a tavern and the iconic jingles start playing. Oh, dude. I don't even have the words for it, man. The music has been playing in the background of this entire video, but seriously, go give a few tracks a listen in your spare time if you're into that serene, fantasy-feeling sound. Moving on to the plot, or I guess plots, because every guild has their own thing going on. And don't worry, I'll give very broad strokes over each questline as to not spoil things. The main story focuses on the creatures and demons from the realm of Oblivion invading the province of Cyrodill via these portals called Oblivion Gates. In the Emperor's absence, it's up to you to work with the heir to the throne and discover what needs to be done to stop this invasion. The main story is perfectly fine. At the same time, I was never super invested at any point. There are great moments, such as discovering that one of the game's towns has been completely wiped from the map, and the final battle absolutely blows its load on the epic meter. The fact that Oblivion is the 4th mainline game in the Elder Scrolls series may play a part. I never played the first 2 games, and I've only played Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind for like 20 minutes, maybe? So I don't know if there are themes or references that carry over from game to game that would have enhanced the experience. Speaking in a vacuum, the main plot is totally serviceable, so don't take my tone like it's a negative. I'd just be lying if I said I didn't skip through a considerable amount of character dialogue to get back to the gameplay. The arena is the least story-driven part of the game. Like I said earlier, it's fight after fight rather than quest after quest. You're pretty low on the social totem pole and treated like dirt until you start spilling enough blood to gain some respect. Most of what you pick up is through environmental storytelling. Your fellow brothers and sisters in arms are in it for the gold and glory. You can do a side quest for the Grand Champion that revolves around visiting his birthplace and learning of his origins, which, after being completed, completely changes how the fight plays out when you're ready to challenge him for his title. That's a dope-ass thing to do. The Fighters Guild starts out as typical mercenary work: scare off some pesky mountain lions, hunt down some escaped fugitives, solve the mystery behind reoccurring burglaries at an inn, stuff like that. As you progress, your line of work becomes threatened by a rival guild called the Blackwood Company, who you suspect conducts their contracts in less than ethical ways. This ends up causing some drama with your fellow guildmates. You'll grow to love some of them, and not really love others, but it's a pretty engaging story all the way through. The Mages Guild doesn't quite come out as strong with its story, but it's still good. The earlier chapters are more about resolving internal conflict. I didn't notice this back in the day when I first played Oblivion, but after playing the remaster recently, the Mages Guild really doesn't have their shit together. You start out visiting each Mages Guild in each town, taking care of a problem at each location to earn recommendations to gain access to the Arcane University in the Imperial City. Every local guild's problem is with their own mages being dickheads, though. This isn't a knock to the storytelling. I actually like this. Makes it feel more real. Like if someone owns a restaurant franchise and troublesome employees keep making their way in, it's bound to happen. Once you get into the university, the focus shifts to facing the King of Worms, a powerful necromancer who aims to destroy the Mages Guild. He gets hyped up and honestly has a pretty terrifying setup, but unfortunately things are paced a little quickly and some quests don't even really pertain to his arrival, so it can feel a little underbaked at times. The Thieves Guild, if you couldn't already guess it, centers around stealing shit and making profit. It's got a Robin Hood-esque theme though, in that the guild's core values revolve around stealing from the rich and caring for the homeless. Once you start gaining traction in the guild, your tasks become centered around fucking with the guard captain who has become obsessed with taking down the Thieves Guild and its infamous master, the Grey Fox. A man so legendary for having the highest bounty ever, and so reclusive that most people, Imperial guards included, cast doubt towards his existence at all. Eventually you come to take your jobs from the esteemed Grey Fox himself, and it all ends in a mind-blowing plot twist that you gotta see. Highly recommend. However, even the Thieves Guild storyline cowers in the shadow that is the Dark Brotherhood. Holy shit, dude. Even though it starts out as simple as taking out hits on people, it's in a league of its own story-wise. Every single quest has its own context. You can learn about your soon-to-be victims and how they ended up in the situations they're in. Then problems start arising internally throughout the guild, and it's just plot twist after plot twist. There's like 3 or 4 holy shit moments back to back to back, and it takes you on an emotional roller coaster. Oblivion's Dark Brotherhood is peak storytelling. I love it to death. Poor choice of words there. I can't even talk more in depth about it without fear of spoiling something, so please, just do yourself the favor and experience it with your own eyes. Lastly is the Shivering Isles, a distorted realm of madness with its own rules that warp reality. You serve Lord Sheogorath, the most fun character in the entire game. If you like the comical, psychotic, unhinged nature of like the Joker, well, throw some god powers into the mix and you got Sheogorath. The goal is to protect his realm from the oncoming invasion known as the Grey March, essentially an army of Grey Knights focused on order and control. Total boredom. And when you serve the Lord of Chaos, that doesn't fly. If I'm being honest, I don't remember most of the story. Really, the only thing I like lore-wise is Sheogorath himself. The rest got a little too abstract and hard to follow. Now we discuss the big beast in the room, the gameplay. I mean, it's fantastic, a shining pillar amongst Western RPGs. Some people may get intimidated by the term RPG, expecting convoluted stat systems, grinding for levels, drawn out, turn-based combat. Oblivion is none of that. It's so beginner-friendly, easy to understand, and quick-paced, real-time, simple combat. At the same time, there are plenty of mechanics you can dive down the rabbit hole over if you take your RPGs a little more seriously. You shape your character's skills and decide how you play. Gather and taste potion ingredients to make a near-infinite combo of potion effects. Craft your own spells with multiple effects. Swap between daggers and bows in the shadows like a true assassin. Enchant armors and accessories with a litany of stat boosts and defensive buffs. Follow the guiding path of the setup stories, or piss off into the open world wilderness and embark on your own journey with your own discoveries. I'm not willing to go in depth enough to explain the major flaws surrounding the original 2006 game's level up mechanic. You'll need to look up someone else's video to understand that whole fiasco, but rest assured that hiccup has been resolved in the remaster. Oblivion truly is a game you can play over and over in different styles and have a varied experience each time. From a pure bias, I'll always hold this game as a heartfelt favorite, but I do need to let the objectivity play a role. The cave and dungeon system, for example, leaves a lot to be desired. Considering there are hundreds of quests and locations to dive into, they all feel nearly identical pretty quickly. I'm ashamed to say it, but there were instances on a side quest here and there where I started to roll my eyes and think to myself, oh, is this over yet? Don't hear this point get conveyed too strongly. Oblivion has a massive catalog of creative side quests that break the typical fetch quest mold that most RPGs only dream of doing. It's just a given that with the sheer volume of content offered here, a few quests will teeter into that mid-range. Also, no matter what version you play, you're gonna find game bugs. Back in 2006, it was harmless or fun glitches like realizing paintbrushes don't have gravity and you can make a floating paintbrush stairway to heaven. Or item duplication. The remaster didn't have the holly jolly side of glitches though. They fixed the stupid fun stuff, yet didn't fix general game performance. A drunk driver in a blizzard won't crash as often as this remaster did on me. You'd think after a couple decades of experience and an explosion of memes on the matter, Bethesda may take the time to polish out shit like this. Final verdict, I can't help it. I gotta put Oblivion as a top 10 game. This is one of those play before you die games, and if you like RPGs, I don't even have to tell you to go play it, because you already know that it's a benchmark in the industry. Let's move on to achievement difficulty for Oblivion. It's not hard at all. If for whatever reason you struggle, you can slap the difficulty down to novice and breeze through every aspect of this game. Everything is purely tied to progression, and no achievements put you through any test of skills. A little disappointing if you like the thrill of the hunt, but if you prefer your gamer score padding to be smooth sailing, play Oblivion. It's a 3 out of 10 difficulty. What does the time dedication look like for the 100%? If you want to explore every corner and hit every side quest, you can kill seasons of your life in this game. Even if you laser focus on just the achievement producing quests only, we're more than just talking hours. Not hundreds of hours, but dozens of hours. Enough that I'd call it a 7 out of 10 on the time-consuming scale. Looking at the miscellaneous red flag score, the only thing I threw out there was the missable flag. However, I did throw it out 35 times, meaning more than half of the game's achievements earned it. At the same time, most of them only became missable if you're willingly screwing up the guild rules. It's way easier to not miss them. I'd say 3 missable flags are true to their form. If you save and ask for promotions frequently, you'll be fine. I still hate that they are missable at all though, especially since the easy ones to miss were just as easy to fix. I'll go 4 out of 10 for this miscellaneous score. Last but not least, my true final form of a score. My recommendation score for earning the 100% completion of Oblivion is an 8.6 out of 10. The only reason you have not to take the leap is due to how long it may take, and honestly there's a blue ocean of games that take way longer to complete. It is a high quality game with easy ass achievements that even a casual gamer could clear without much issue. If you're a hardcore completionist, go clear the list for both versions of Oblivion and bask in the glory of an easy gamer score or trophy boost. If you want to feel the cold dead embrace of our loving Night Mother, hit that like button. If you want to join Sheogorath in spreading the eyeballs of our enemies on toast like jam, hit the subscribe button. If you want to earn the mask of the Grey Fox and disappear from reality as the world's most prolific crime master, leave a comment down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.